Okay, let's talk about Christmas. Not the Pinterest version, not the perfectly curated, everything matches, everyone's happy version. I want to talk about the real Christmas, the one where joy and grief sometimes sit at the same table. The one where your house isn't spotless, your schedule is a lot, and your heart is full, but also tender. This year, I'm walking into Christmas with something I honestly didn't have much of last year: joy. Last Christmas was rough for me. I was in the height of my anxiety. We were hosting, and I remember having to lay in bed before my family arrived because I felt so physically ill. That was my body's response to anxiety. I would just crash. My heart would race, my mind would spiral, and I'd feel so sick that all I could do was lie there and hope I could pull it together before everyone showed up. Looking back, I can also see now how much my Hashimoto's was playing into that. My body was exhausted, my nervous system was fried, and spiritually, I just felt like there was this heaviness, this darkness over my spirit. I did not feel joyful. I was going through the motions of Christmas, but internally, I wasn't in a good place. So this year feels different. This year, I'm going into the season being and feeling joyful, hopeful, tender, grateful, and yes, still grieving and still reflecting. It's all there together. But my heart feels open again. I feel ready to step back into the magic of what Christmas really is. And that's what I want to talk about today. Hey friend, I'm Jessica, and this is With My Whole Heart. I'm a real-life woman juggling a lot of real-life things, raising girls, running a hair salon, chasing big dreams, and doing my best to stay grounded through it all. If you've ever found yourself in the thick of it, somewhere between who you've been and who you're becoming, this space is for you. Here, we talk about the middle, the messy, meaningful, beautiful middle. The big leaps, the small wins, the hard lessons, and the heart-led pivots. From business and beauty to faith, motherhood, and everything in between, nothing's off limits. So grab your coffee or your tea, get cozy, and let's dive in. Because this journey, we're walking it together with our whole hearts. Recentering Christmas around Jesus, releasing some of the expectations we carry, honoring grief, and finding the gift of simplicity in the middle of it all. I don't know if you felt this, but for me, the story of Jesus' birth is hitting differently this year. I've always known the Christmas story, right? Mary, Joseph, the manger, the angels, the shepherds. But in this season of my life, as a mom, as someone who's walked through anxiety and big grief, I'm seeing it with new eyes. I've been sitting with the reality of who Jesus is and what he did. This baby who would grow up to die on the cross for our sins, and the weight of that sacrifice feels so much more real to me this year. And then there's Mary. Now, I know Christmas isn't about Mary. The focus is and will always be Jesus, but I have such a new adoration and respect for her as a mother. To carry this baby, to walk through an immaculate conception, to raise him, knowing what his mission and purpose on this earth would be. I think about the stress I feel just letting my kids do things on their own, letting them have a little more freedom, letting them out into the world and trusting that they're going to be okay. The anxiety that can come with that as a mom. And then I picture Mary. She wasn't just raising any child. She was raising the Savior of the world, fully God, fully man, knowing there was a cross in his future. The weight of that, I can't even imagine. And yet, she obeyed, she trusted, she carried him, she birthed him, and she mothered him. So this year, I find myself honoring her a little more, not worshiping her, but appreciating her as a mother, as a woman, and as someone who said yes to something that was so much bigger than herself. And it's pulling me back to the heart of Christmas. That God loved us so much, He chose to come close, to step into our mess, our brokenness, our grief, our chaos, as a baby. That is the center. That's the anchor I keep coming back to when I feel myself drifting towards stress, perfection, consumerism, or anxiety. Now, let's be honest, I haven't always done Christmas this way. There have definitely been seasons where we overbought, especially when we just had one child. It was also new and exciting, and honestly, that's okay. I don't carry guilt about those years. I'm a gift giver. I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts. Gifts are absolutely one of my love languages. So there was this rush that came with it, the dopamine hit of going out shopping for the people I love and trying to find the perfect thing. And in those early years, especially with just one kiddo, it was easy to go a little or a lot overboard. We'd buy and buy and buy because we wanted it to feel magical. And in the moment, it did feel magical. But as the years went on, things started to feel different. Life got busier. We had more kids. And remember, 2 of my girls have birthdays right around the holidays. Genevieve was born on Black Friday, and Emmeline's birthday is December 19th, right before Christmas. So not only did we have Christmas, we had birthdays stacked on top of it. And then you throw in grandparents, aunts, uncles, extended family, all buying gifts, and it just became a lot. What I started noticing is that the whole process began to shift. It wasn't just me joyfully buying gifts anymore. It became this overwhelming pressure to find the perfect gift for everyone. It felt like a chore, like one more never-ending to-do list. Instead of focusing on the heart behind the gift, I found myself thinking things like, how much money can I spend? How big and impressive can this be in a budget? How can I make this feel like a massive gift when trying to be smart? When in reality, the most meaningful gifts have never been the most expensive ones. Sometimes it's a $30 gift that means the world. It's the thought, the connection, the knowing of the person, not the price tag. I realized I was chasing a feeling, this high of giving and shopping and checking people off my list. But at the end of it, Christmas would be over and there would just be more stuff in the house, more clutter, more toys, more things that eventually got shoved into bins or donated. And at the same time, my heart felt emptier, not fuller. Part of this, I think, also comes from what I grew up with. My grandma Genevieve gave us the most magical Christmases. I can still remember being a little girl, waking up at her house and seeing this room filled with presents under the tree, like absolutely filled. It was magical. It was breathtaking. As a kid, you walk in and you're like, this is the North Pole. And I am so grateful for that. That was her love language. That's how she expressed love, through quantity, through going big, through wanting us to feel spoiled and special. And honestly, it worked. I have the most beautiful memories of those Christmases with her. So when I became a mom, I naturally wanted to recreate that. I did give that to my kids for their first couple of years, the overflowing tree, the piles of presents, the wow factor when they came into the room. But then reality set in. We were outgrowing our home. We didn't need all of this stuff. And I could feel that the quantity wasn't actually what made things special. It was the time together, the feeling in the room, the laughter, and the traditions. So slowly, our family began to shift from quantity over quality to quality over quantity. And when I say quality, I don't mean price. I mean intention. I mean, does this make sense? Is this needed? Is this actually wanted, or is it just one more thing under the tree so the tree looks full? That's when we started moving toward the rhythm we use now. Something they want, something they need, something to wear, and something to read. We probably made that switch a couple of years after having our third daughter, so it's been at least 7 years now that we've done it this way. And here's what's funny. I thought it was going to be this big dramatic change that I have to sit down with the girls and explain like, okay, girls, just so you know, we're doing Christmas differently this year. And they did not care. They did not care. They just loved opening presents, whether it was 1, 2, 3, or 4. They love the experience, the surprise, the moment. Their favorite thing, if I'm honest, is probably their stockings anyway. So the change I thought was going to feel like some big loss didn't even register as a loss for them. Now we're in a season where sometimes we even loosen that structure. Like this year, for example, we're going on a family cruise, me, my husband, and our girls, and they already know that because of that, they probably won't be getting all 4 categories this year. They may only get 2 or 3 gifts, and they're okay. They understand. Because what we've done over time is reframe Christmas around family time, memory making, traditions, and celebrating what's most important, and that is the birth of Jesus Christ. Our home and our hearts feel different, simpler, lighter. I'm not nearly as stressed out about buying gifts, and I've actually found my way back to enjoying gift giving again. I think this is one of the biggest things that has clouded some of my past Christmases and taken some of the magic away. I used to walk into the season with all of these unspoken rules in my head. The house needs to be perfectly clean. The food needs to be impressive. The decor has to look a certain way. The kids need to have this kind of experience. The day needs to go exactly like this vision in my head. And when I step back now, I can see how heavy that was. The truth is, we have a safe home. We have a beautiful home. We have a space that can hold my immediate family and our extended family, so we can gather and celebrate the birth of Jesus. That alone is something to be celebrated. There's nothing wrong with it being simple. Now, hear me when I say this. I love a bougie, over-the-top party. I am that mom. If you've ever been to one of my kids' birthday parties when they were younger, you know I would go all out. Themes, decor, details. I joke that I was throwing Kardashian-level kids' parties before the Kardashians were even having children. I love that kind of thing. It's fun for me, but I've learned that for me personally, the holidays are not the time for that because there's already added stress this time of year. Work is busier, the salon is busier, there's gift buying, planning, events, performances, all the things that stack up. So over the years, we've gently scaled back. We used to throw a Christmas Eve party and it was really fun. I loved it, but eventually we decided to shift that tradition. Now Christmas Eve looks like this. We go to our Christmas Eve service at church. We come home and do Chinese food before our dietary changes. It was takeout, but now we might just make homemade Chinese, but the idea is the same. We put on a Christmas movie, and when my girls go to bed, my husband and I wrap the presents. And it's not stressful because we don't have a million presents to wrap anymore. It's simple, it's cozy, it feels peaceful. We still host, we still have a great time with our families, but we switched to doing things more potluck style. Everyone brings something to share. It's not this giant over-the-top production where I'm exhausted by the time people walk in the door. Sometimes instead of buying every adult a gift, we'll do the dice game. The kids still get presents, our nieces and nephews are still spoiled, but for the adults, it becomes more about fun, laughter, and connection than about exchanging 27 gifts. And honestly, that shift towards simplicity and lowered expectations has made the season feel more magical, not less. I also want to acknowledge something that's really important to me this year. Holidays can be incredibly painful when you're grieving, and my family is in that season. This is our first holiday season without my niece, and that reality touches everything. Thanksgiving, her birthday, Christmas, New Year's, it's all colored by this loss. Her birthday is on Thanksgiving Day this year, and we're approaching it with so much tenderness. I already know it'll be one of the hardest parts of the season. The day of her birth on a major holiday, it's a lot. And I can feel the anxiety leading up to it, wondering how my body and heart will respond. But I also believe this: joy is a God-given gift. He's given it to all of us. We all have access to it in Him. And I really believe that grief and joy can coexist in the same sentence, on the same day, even in the same breath. So I'm walking into this Christmas holding both. There is grief, there is deep sadness, there's an ache that's not going away. And there's also this deep, quiet joy that comes from knowing who God is and where she is. As a family, we're choosing to honor her in a really special way this year. Last year for her birthday, we went out for pizza and then went to see the musical Wicked. It was such a core memory. This year, with Wicked 2 coming out, we are planning to honor her by going to the movie. My brother went all out and got around 50 tickets, enough for my family, her friends, my brother and sister-in-law's friends. We're all going together to remember her and celebrate her life. It's a way of saying she is still a part of this. We're still remembering her and we're still celebrating her. And I'm not going to pretend that my faith hasn't been challenged in all of this. Grief has broken me. It has softened me. It has challenged me. There have been moments of deep anger and confusion. I've sat with questions like, why God? Why her? Why did it have to be this way? And yet, through all of that, through the pain, through the confusion, through the not understanding, I keep coming back to this truth. God is still good, and He has carried us through. So with all of that, my anxiety journey, my Hashimoto's diagnosis, the gift overload years, the shift to intentional gifts, the grief of losing my niece, what does simplicity actually look like for us this Christmas? So let's get practical. First of all, decor is not where I'm simplifying. I cannot give that up. I love Christmas decor. It brings me so much joy. We typically have 1, 2, 3 Christmas trees just in our living room area. Yeah, 3. Each one of my daughters has a tree in her room. If I had the space, I would absolutely have a Christmas tree in my bedroom too, but with the 2 dogs, it's just not happening right now. So the decor stays. That's something that genuinely fills my cup. But where I have simplified is, number 1, food. In the past, I would cater big meals in. It was beautiful, it was expensive, and it was a lot of effort and logistics. Now I've let that go. Is it still nice to have good food and sit down together? Of course, but I'm no longer treating the meal like the centerpiece of the day. It's just one part of it. We lean more into simple dishes, potlucks, everyone bringing something. The focus is less on impressing and more on connecting. The second thing is schedules. This was a big one. Growing up and in our early years of marriage, it was not unusual for us to go to 2 or even 3 holiday gatherings in one day. My parents are divorced. My husband's parents are divorced. So in theory, there were 4 different sides of the family we could see. I don't have a relationship with my dad, and my husband's dad lives in Arizona now, and honestly, I don't blame him for not wanting to come to the tundra in December. So practically speaking, we're down to 2 main families, my mom and brother on my side, and my husband's mom and family on his side. So for a long time, we still tried to cram everything into as few days as possible. But once you start having babies, it's just too much. It's overstimulating for the kids. It's exhausting for you. You end up spending the entire day in the car and not even being present anywhere. So now we separate it. We'll celebrate my family's holiday on one day and his family's holiday on another. There have been times where we've merged everyone together. For example, combining Thanksgiving and my daughter's birthday, since her birthday is right around that time, and it was too much. It was too loud, too overstimulating for me personally. So spreading it out has made a huge difference in how grounded I feel. The third thing is boundaries. This year especially, I've been really intentional about not overscheduling myself. I am a natural scheduler. I love to pack the calendar. Sure, we can do that. Oh, let's also add this. And before I know it, there's no breathing room. There's an event coming up in the middle of December for the salon, something that the girls are excited about and really wanted to spearhead. In the past, I would have automatically put myself there, running everything, being in the middle of it all. But this year, I'm passing it off to them. They wanted to lead it. They're more than capable, and I'm letting them run with it. And I will not be going because my daughter is in the Nutcracker this year, and I don't want to miss those moments. I'm prioritizing my wellness, my health, my nervous system, and most of all, my family. So the questions I'm asking myself in this season are, do I have to be there? Do I want to be there? And is this aligned with my priorities right now? Sometimes the answer is yes, I want to be there, but I don't have to be. And in this season, it's okay for me to say no to some things, even good things, so I can say yes to what matters most. The word that keeps coming to mind for me this Christmas is gentleness. When I picture the season I honestly think of the song Silent Night, that feeling of holiness, calmness, peace settling over everything. That's the rhythm I'm praying for. Quiet pockets of time with my family, laughter in the living room, candlelight and soft worship music, space to breathe, moments to actually feel the presence of God, not just talk about Him. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a simple thought and a scripture that I've been holding on to. The thought is this: you don't have to earn Christmas. You don't have to earn it by baking 27 kinds of cookies. You don't have to earn it by buying the perfect gift for every single person. You don't have to earn it by having the spotless house or the perfectly curated feed. Christmas is already given. Jesus has already come. Joy has already been made available to you. Peace has already been spoken over you. The verse that keeps coming to mind is from Luke chapter 2, where the angel says, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord. Good news, great joy for all of the people. That includes the mom who feels exhausted. That includes the woman who is grieving someone she loves. That includes the family who's simplifying, the one who's starting over, the one who feels like she messed it all up last year. That's me. That joy is for you too. So if you're listening to this and you're walking into the holidays with a mix of emotions, maybe you're excited, but you're also tired, or hopeful, but also heartbroken, I just want you to know you're not alone. You are allowed to simplify. You are allowed to lower the expectations. You are allowed to say no to some things so you can say yes to what actually matters. You can have 3 Christmas trees in your living room and still be a simple Christmas girl at heart. You can love beautiful decor and also serve potluck dinner. You can grieve your person and still laugh that night around the table. Grief and joy can coexist. Tension and peace can coexist. You can feel the ache and still experience the sweetness of Jesus's presence in the middle of it all. My hope for you this Christmas is that you feel less pressure to perform and more freedom to receive the gift of Jesus, to receive the gift of joy, to receive rest, to receive help, to receive the beauty of a Christmas that's not perfect, but is deeply, deeply real. From my heart and my home to yours, I'm right here with you, learning how to recenter Christmas around what and who actually matters. Thank you for letting me share my heart today. I hope this episode meets you right where you are and reminds you that you don't have to do all to make this season meaningful. You are loved, you are held, and you don't carry this season alone. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Your time is valuable, and I'm honored you spent it here. I hope something in this conversation met you right where you are. If it stirred something in your spirit or spoke to your heart, I'd truly love to hear about it. My DMs are always open. I love connecting with you. And as you go, just remember, you're not walking through this life alone. Until next time, stay grounded, keep showing up, and keep leaning into the purpose that's been placed on your heart. I'll be right here, cheering you on with my whole heart.